people get lost in the weeds and the stars and everything and trying to figure it out. I say, clear your head, reset, and then look at your world. And you'll realize that nothing will ever lead you to thinking you live on a ball except pseudoscience.
Where's the evidence for the curve? Where's the evidence for the rotation? And then where's the evidence for the revolution around the sun?
Why are we not taught what the ancients believed? Why do we only see this image of a boat going over the edge of some water? Nobody thought that. The Egyptians, the Greek, the Mayans, they all believed this solid expanse of the sky, the earth was immovable, just like it is in the biblical text.
It just really hit me one day when I was going through the Bible, and it was like the Lord just basically said, who are you going to believe?
How did you arrive to the flat earth theory?
I got into it through sheer conspiracy boredom, believe it or not.
All right. Welcome, everyone. We are blessed beyond belief to be here.
Hey, guys.
Both of the brothers. It takes a special occasion to get both of us here, getting him to travel all the way across town to make it for this. So awesome. Awesome to see everyone in the chat. We got Matthew Beavers back to the covenant. So many. The glory of y'all's creation. Wendy Moore, welcome aboard. This is going to be something. It's probably the most excited I've been about a live video because we're announcing something that is one of a kind, and it has to do with the Origins Untold film. And so those of you who are new here or you haven't heard of it, it's a biblical Earth documentary. It's phenomenal. I'm going to go ahead and bring on the filmmakers and the lead skeptic of the film. They're all together. And so we'll be talking about what that announcement is, what it means for us in the truth community, and how you guys can join in and be a part of it. So here they are, David, Sarah, and Otto. Let me unmute them. I guess they are unmuted. There you go. So
hey
how you guys doing?
What's up?
How you guys doing? Thank you for having us, guys.
Yeah, it's a blessing. So what's going to happen? When is it going to happen with this film? People have been wanting to watch this, and I've been wanting to watch this forever, and we were fortunate we got to watch it during the movie premiere.
We've already seen the film. And I think you guys are going to really like it. We did have the screening in North Carolina. How many were there? About 200. About 200 people.
A little over.
Like? Yeah,
which was awesome. I didn't expect to see that many people. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was a blessing, and I had high expectations because I've seen the work you guys have done in the past, and it exceeded those high expectations. Like I thought, how can they take what we've done and just a solo crew? Like when you watch the film, you're imagining this giant set of like people involved and, probably 20 to 30 people there, but literally it's like a 2-person crew. So that is something that you won't even, I don't know if I should tell people that before they watch the film. Afterwards, wait until after and be like, guess what? That was only, 2 people doing that, but extremely high quality.
There's a really cool story about the premiere. We had somebody reach out to us from the area. 2 weeks later, we don't know who they are. Still don't know who they are, but they're so amazed by the film. They're not flat earthers or anything like that, but they were so shocked how well it's presented, how everybody spoke so kindly and was so well put together that they had to congratulate us. They're like so happy that this happened in their own town. And then they told us they mentioned this film to their friends, and they laughed at him. Even though he didn't say he was a flat earther, he was just mentioning how this presentation was great.
Yeah, and he's just also mentioning just really neat to see a local theater, any theater, bring in a movie that's not so mainstream. You know what I mean? Like he was saying, I wish our theater would bring in more stuff like you guys, what you guys just did here, and just, it was a really good conversation with him. And he thought everything that he heard through the movie was very interesting. So he's not, like we said, he's not saying he's a flat earther, but he's very interested in learning more about it.
And that was the point of the film, to get people who never heard of it or are against it to reconsider and to look into it.
Like it was cool listening to his questions too, because he was noticing everything. Him and his wife were noticing everything, including the seats that some people were wearing out there, and there was some flat Earth shirts and stuff like that. And it was really cool having, like, people don't know anything about that stuff, asking us information for, and we were able to share it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and that just speaks volumes to the type of film that it is, that it's one of those you can share with relatives and not even tell them what it's about. Be like, hey, there's this movie called Origins Untold, and it's about what the ancients believed, you know, those crazy ancients. And then they see something and it's powerful. I mean, you get emotional during the experience if it's that good. So it's something you can share far and wide. I mean, it's an eye-opening gift to send to people.
Yeah, we have some people who told us they cried when they watched it.
Oh yeah, some people cry.
Powerful.
Here's another story I'll share. There was a husband and wife, and the wife was interested in the topic and she wanted to come, but she knew her husband wanted nothing to do with coming. So she didn't say anything to him until like 2 days before. No. Yeah, it ended up being 2 days before because we saw them and it was by accident. But she was going to tell him the night of they were going to the premiere. So long story short, he found out about it Saturday night. He almost didn't come. He was just feeling so much like, like, I don't think so. You know what I mean? But then he came the next day. So whatever night it was. Oh, so it was Sunday night to Monday. Anyways, he ended up coming, watching the movie. And then after the movie, he pulled us aside. And he specifically said to me, he's like, I want to thank you guys so much for doing this. And I'm so glad that I came, and shared the story with me and told me that it just kind of really opened his eyes to just new meaning to scripture and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And he no longer at that moment felt very hard to the subject. And that was so cool to hear that testimony, because it's like he wasn't the only one that said it.
There's multiple people.
You know, there's multiple people.
Yeah, I felt like there were a lot of people at the movie that was probably kind of new to them, or they were very skeptical.
Yeah, we had a lot of questions in the movie.
I had friends in the actual audience, and most of them had just heard about this theory for the first time.
Wow.
And they were completely taken back. I've had comments like, I thought I knew what the world was about.
Yeah.
And now I'm totally like real skeptical about everything. So which is good, because I came into it the same way. You know, it was like I say in the documentary, I don't want to give away anything, but very few times do you wake up and start questioning whether what the shape of the earth, it's rare that someone just pop it. It's when things don't start adding up that you're like, hold on, there's more to this, you know? And another thing is, I've watched so many videos on the topic now, and the fervor that some people argue against this with information sometimes that's completely fallible really opened my eyes to, it's like, why you guys hate this so much? What are you trying to suppress? And so that right away kind of sparked. I'm a very curious person. I'm a researcher. I research a lot of different topics. And I dove into it, and you know, I learned a whole lot through the process.
Yeah, it's massive overload, and there's so much to take in. Like when you came over and we were interviewing, I felt like there's so much more that we could have said, because there's just like, you take 7 years worth of things and you're learning something new every day. It's really hard to share that. And so you're always, that's the hardest part about this topic is, like you said, the reaction you get, and you don't have enough time on the spot, 20 minutes, 30 minutes to show somebody how everything works. You almost need like a to scale functioning working model with you to show things, but even then that's not enough.
Danny notebook in your pocket.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Page 2. We need to come up with one of those. We need something with visuals that it's just
maybe kind of like
a size.
One of those small little books, pamphlets with a track.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Make it a comic book.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah. People are already asking questions. Someone said, so is it already out to actually rent or buy? That's a great question. So what's the deal? People that are just joining in, what's going to happen?
So we talked to a film consultant, and he told us the best way to do this. He was saying, first of all, you want to go, there's a fan base, and you want to show that there's a fan base to the distributors. So they need to see paid view count. so they know, okay, if they can sell this much tickets, then we can do so much more.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing. And the second thing is that it's the money that we do get is going to help fund the next series that we want to do.
Which
We'll
is
talk
part
about
of,
that,
yeah.
but
yeah.
that the view count and the people who came to the premiere, the 200 people, we're going to add that to the fan base kind of thing, and as well if we're getting into any film festivals. So far, we got into one.
We got selected in one, guys, so far.
This is one of those topics that it's really hard for people to consider it. There is a festival who denied us, but when you look at the films that they accept that are really bad.
They're not really well done. So it's more likely the topic didn't.
Yes, you can tell by that. It's just like they don't care about this thing, and even there's Christian themes in this film.
Mm-hmm.
So people don't like that as well. That's another touch. It's like two touchy topics in one film. So, but if we get any, that's going to help for the distribution and like I said, the film itself right now we're going to have it live for everybody. It's going to be $5.99. But the reason why we're doing that is they need to see paid view count.
Mm-hmm.
And then the money we do get, again, is going to help fund the series that we want to do with this Origins Untold series. You can maybe say with the,
you pretty much said it all.
Yeah.
There's the series, but there's also future movies too. We have future movie ideas that we've already talked to, I think the brothers even about Bible movies that have not been talked about yet. So that's the other part where things we get pulled into. But yeah. So
has done a lot of research already, but
he's already started the journey for the series with us.
Tell us about how we got the idea to do it.
He helped us with the series idea.
So essentially, when we started talking about this, I just felt that we had a nice chemistry and the whole approach to the documentary, a film. And so I was like, this would be a great series. And for us to choose some amazing topics just like this and present an entire series based on Origins Untold. So being then ancient cosmology would essentially be the first, pilot of this.
Mm-hmm. And I remember when you shared the idea, I was all for it right away. I'm like, dude, that is so cool. I didn't even think of that.
So that's why we actually ended up changing the name. The original was just Origins Untold, and then we ended up changing the name so there's an opportunity if we get the funding for it to make it into a series. So that's why it's Origins Untold, Ancient Cosmology. It's very long now. But if we did another episode, for example, we'd have Origins Untold, Giants of Old, or Nephilim of Old, or something like that for the next. Because that's one of the topics we want to cover is the Giants.
Oh, that's cool. So yeah, there's so many different avenues you can go, and I automatically, as like the biology teacher, I'm thinking like the missing links, going after the, how they're using these ancient giant bones to say there's something they're not, and how we can prove they're younger. Going after the people who have done all the research. Like there's so many fun avenues you can take with this.
Oh yes.
And the way to view this is going to be at 7:30. Is that right? 7:30 tonight.
Yeah, we made it
7:30 tonight.
7:30, but it's be right after this stream. I'm gonna make it live.
I think it's by 7 o'clock. I think it's already gonna be live. We just announced it for 7:30. So,
Okay, so as early as 7. Yeah, you want to sit down and watch this with the family and make this a family movie night.
Oh yeah, Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah,
for all y'all
yeah.
wandering in other places.
In the West Coast.
Yeah,
so less than 45 minutes.
And overseas, right?
We really want it to spread far. We do want it to go overseas and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, the link is in the description for you guys, the pursuitfilms.com/Origins Untold. You can go down to the description, copy that, paste it, and just wait
you
for it
guys
to
see
go live.
the comments. I seen the comments says password. Password is going to go away. The reason we did that is because people already were starting to watch the film before the website was done. They started somehow.
We turned on the website. We turned on the film for a second just to make sure it was running okay. Because we had to watch it ourselves to make sure you guys can watch it. And somebody got on there and grabbed it and started sharing it. And we started noticing people buying tickets.
Wow.
And we're like, what is going on here? Because they're not even. And then so we had to turn it off. And now you guys, like you said, no password starting 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So no worries. That's going to be gone.
That's good. I thought I was going to be having to give out passwords over here. This is awesome.
It's all good, dude.
Yeah, we got our family watching it. So like my dad, my sister, like a lot of people share this with the family. It's a good one. It's a good one
Mhm.
to. It's
Yeah.
it's a soft approach. There's no insults. It's not like other documentaries where you have insults or making fun of the globe believers. It's very, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for?
Family friendly.
Yeah,
It's-
family friendly.
It's professional. It's,
Yeah.
it's something you can take serious. And I think that's what we need. It's not
Yeah.
like the level documentaries that are
Yeah.
that are great,
Yeah,
but
they're great.
it's more. I don't know how to compare it to anything.
The
Really.
way we presented this is in a way where, remember how you were when you first heard flat Earth. You know what I'm saying? So when
Yeah.
someone tells you it, if they come at you with anger or any kind of negative emotion, you're more than likely going to push back. And usually when I've had this conversation with people, if it gets elevated, you know it's got to stop. Like there's no way to reach that level of understanding with the other person because they're already elevated, and you don't want to get up there because they're definitely not going to listen to you. So long story short, we decided we wanted to take it on the route of like the fruit of the spirit. What does that look like? So let's represent it through the way Christ would represent it, right? Which is through gentleness. So there you go.
Mindset, yeah, the mindset I had to do the film is to imagine I was making a movie for my grandma.
Mhm.
And she'd never heard of flat Earth before.
Yeah.
That's kind of the approach I was trying to.
I will say a lot of the arguments that I see online get quite heated, and that was one thing I didn't want to happen in this production.
Mhm.
Before we started, I was like, don't want to argue like that. That's so unproductive. People get really condescending. People start insulting each other's intelligence, and a lot of things get lost because emotions get involved. I wanted just to. I came at it, even though in the film I'm a skeptic. I wanted to know, and I'm coming from a genuine sense of curiosity rather than trying to say I know it all and you're gonna have to prove to me. No, I didn't come at it at all. I was like, no, I want to know. I want to know what you guys know. I'm very interested in the topic, and have an open mind, a real open mind about it.
Yeah, you had a good approach. I could tell. I was like, with his approach and his humbleness and him actually seeking, you can't not find the truth when you're humble like that and you're actually looking. It's hard not to find the truth. It takes somebody who's. I've seen people though that are stubborn and don't have that approach that still come to it after just constantly planting seeds. They finally are like, okay, I see it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard not to wake up to it when you're humble like that.
Yeah.
Have you guys had anyone in your family like kind of close to you that's now awake to it that at first wasn't?
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna say any names.
Yeah.
There's particular ones in the family who have been more interested, and they've been looking at more biblical verses. And I'm not saying that they believe in flat Earth or anything like that, but they can see it, and that's all I can really say because I don't know if they're watching this.
Yeah, we hope they're watching. Yeah,
I want to be totally honest. There's going to be some people that even facing the utter truth, just like the Blair tooth, like it's right in front of you and you have all the information. Accepting this theory shakes up their internal concept of the universe. And that's a big statement.
Yeah.
But it does. And some people don't want their universe shaken up. They're just like, you know what? This is too much. And since I can't prove it right or wrong, I'm just going to mosey on down and throw on the football game, and that's fine. That's fine. Escapism is a thing, it's cool, but I'm not that type of person. I'm inquisitive. I want to know. I want to know beyond a shadow of a doubt. And so some people will dive into it like I do. Some people are just, even when they look at the truth and they can't refute it, they're going to say, you know what, this is too much. It's too much. Yeah. I'm tapping out. And that's okay. And you have to be okay with people doing that,
Yeah.
Some people just take their toes in and like, nah, I don't accept it. But we had some people who said, it doesn't matter what you show me, I'm not going to accept it. Yeah. And then they watched it and they're like,
There's a particular person I remember that's like, I'm going, but I'm just going to support you. I'm like, okay, that's fine, whatever, And then afterwards, maybe, I don't know, maybe. And then after the words, you're like, wow, that was very interesting. Like, I don't know what to believe now. It's pretty much, and I didn't expect them to say that to me.
Yeah.
I actually expected them to say the same thing they said before because they had said it so many times. So, love you guys.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Do keep it up, brothers in Christ and sisters.
Yeah, and sisters. Thanks, Kingdom Within. Awesome. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yeah.
Yes, Kingdom. Thank you.
Yeah. Someone said the password thing again. If you're just joining in and you're going to the website to watch the video, that's
it's
in the
not
description.
open yet. It will show a password, but that's going to go away at 7:00 when the film's available.
Yeah, it'll be available as soon as you said as soon as we're done here.
We're gonna make it available.
It'll be up and ready.
So no worries, guys. It's coming.
So Origins Untold, Ancient Cosmology. But you guys have done work in the past, and I watched it before this documentary came out. They have one, Rosebud Lane, that's like on Amazon Prime. Is that where it's at still?
Yeah, it's still up there.
Yeah. Like Freebie. Yeah.
Tubi.
And Apple TV.
Yeah, so that's what we're hoping with this. I mean, it's the quality that you would see on Netflix, and
absolutely
like anywhere. It's good enough quality to go anywhere. So that's what the amount of views it gets now and support is only going to help the cause. And so this is something special, that we're a part of for the Father and his truth, bringing people that way, is just watching, literally just sitting and watching a production that has been put together so masterfully. Because I mean, when you guys came on, it seems like yesterday we were talking and trying to get a concept film going, and you guys had the concept film and we're trying to market it, and they had the one donor come on, just a godsend, just came out and helped fund it. And it's just been, and you guys were down. I remember you were kind of like, I guess it's just not the Father's will for this to happen right now. And then
we were okay with it. We made sure our mindset was like, whatever his will is for us, it's his will. You know what I mean? Not my will be done, but his will, and it obviously was his will. And I feel like he was testing us even in that. Cause like we told you guys on another live stream, took us a month to realize we're already funded. We're already funded, still hanging our heads high, like, okay, whatever, shake it off.
Yeah. And people were being so critical too. It's easy for people that don't like contribute to, or like the hardest critics, people that aren't putting themselves out there and putting their work in front of the world. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing. The work you guys have done as a duo is definitely, I mean, that's a gift. I mean, that's a gift from above to give somebody, because you guys were like a working crew. It wore me out. Like you guys hit the ground running, and you just kept going, and you were getting up early and traveling the world.
When you have a minimum budget, you're like the one-man army.
Yeah, we're putting in some hours. Yeah,
I could tell y'all were tired. I was tired when you guys got there too. So I know I was like, man, I couldn't imagine if we had just all day to just do that one thing and had the energy, but it's still it was still really good in spite of all the extra hours. And you guys started out in like New York in the rain and the cold auto with David Weiss. You got to see David Weiss right away.
Oh yeah.
What made that day incredibly, like, I mean, it was good, but it was a little hard because we're carrying our gear, umbrellas, in the rain. You know what I'm saying? It was just so much stuff, and it was just like, that's not normally your typical type of day you want to be filming in. You know, but it still looks really pretty though.
It was amazing the way it came out. It looks amazing.
Oh, look, it is. Yeah. If you have the latest version of the FE clock app at 7 Eastern, you'll have a link on your app. Get the movie. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, get the latest version of his Flat Earth Sun and Moon clock app. Get the app.
I have shown that to so many people. Like when they're asking me questions about it, I'm like, hold on, it's a good way to just you have something that you can pull up and show them a visual.
Yeah,
it's got a lot of great videos too.
Yeah, the app is better than a track.
Yeah, and some people would reach out to me. They're like, man, I feel so alone. There's no one that believes this stuff. And you tell them about the app, and they're like, wait, I can just pull up people that are near me. And I'm like, coordinate a meeting. Like, you just coordinate a meetup. Make it somewhere safe, because people are scared. We were terrified to go meet people in a public setting about
our first meetup was scary because we were teachers, and we're public figures out here.
I'm like, I could get fired from my job, and sure enough, we run into people we know from our work community in another town. Like, we're in another state, and we still run into people that know us from where we used to work. And
and funny story, we've just started at new schools. We've left the school we've been at for 14, 15 years, and we'd gotten in trouble there a couple times for the flat earth stuff. His new job, how long have you been there? 2 weeks?
I've been there a few weeks, and I get called down to the office, and I'm like, what's going on?
Oh, no.
They're like, so I know you got a private life and a public life. And my administrators are awesome. But they're like, somebody came across your book and, and your stuff on YouTube. And I'm like, and, like if I was a Satanist, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But since I'm a biblical creationist, here we are. And it was time number 3. I'm like, man, 3 times for my beliefs. My biblical beliefs 3 times is brought me to the principal's office. Like,
wild.
You're just
crazy.
a troublemaker.
Yeah. And that's like, and I'm like, I'm not teaching that. He's like, you're gonna, as long as you're sticking to the standards. I'm like, I teach life science. I'm not teaching earth science, but that would be interesting because part of their standards when I'm making the new standards for homeschool people out there, I'm doing another thing on the side with creation standard. And so I'm taking the traditional standards and modifying them. And one of them says, compare the heliocentric, the globe model to the geocentric model. And I'm like, that's part of the standards. I would spend all year working on that one. Like it's pretty cool. They put that in there.
Great unit to start with.
Yeah. I don't remember ever looking at that.
I saw in the chat earlier, they're saying, can we watch it after 7 o'clock? Yes, it's going to be up for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Probably at least a month.
Okay, so at least a month they'll be able to
Yeah, because we were
go
trying
on and stream it.
Yeah, it's going to be until probably when it starts to stream.
Yeah.
We'll see though. If it's still, here's the thing though. I still want you guys to watch on the streamers too if you want to, but we could always leave it up too. The reason why we actually want it up still too is there's actually a message at the end of the movie, and it's going to talk about the series and stuff like that and how we want to get that funded. And you guys will, in the actual website, you'll see the amount that we need to get the 5 episodes going and running and stuff. So you'll see that. So that's another reason why we need it for a little bit too, is if anyone wants to help us fund it, make it happen, man.
Yeah.
We're looking at like 5 or 6 episodes that are
Yeah.
also taboo topics like this one.
Yeah.
Very taboo topics. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, this is the best type of project to fund because you guys aren't using a giant crew. We're not paying all this money for flying a crew of 30 people around. Like,
Yeah.
it's really phenomenal how you guys did what you did with the funding you had. Like, it's mind blowing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was we definitely, the budget was really low. We flew so many places that we weren't expecting to. And we were I was doing like hot wire deals and trying to pack more equipment into smaller bags just to,
We're eating the Subway.
We did eat at Subway often, guys.
I had coupons for Subway and I had like a discount little thing. It was a double discount.
It's like Subway.
Funny.
I love Subway.
Yeah, I don't want Subway.
It was like, no, it was you actually, because you had so many Subway sandwiches. I get it though, guys. It's a lot of bread.
yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do to make it happen.
Yep.
Man. It was
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask if it's the $3 app in the App Store.
Yeah.
I don't think
It may be. It was like $275 the app. The Flat Earth Sun and Moon and Clock app. It's not free, but it's worth the few dollars you pay. Trust me. I know everybody wants free stuff, but things cost money. Websites, apps, doing all that stuff cost a lot of money. And
the
that's my
gospel's
dad.
free,
Love you, Dad.
But not everything can be free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The gospel's free.
I know it's nice to give things away for free when you can, but like it does cost a lot of money. Like I made a website and I'm thinking, oh, this will be cheap. And it's like, wow.
And then
This
you
is
have to keep
expensive.
paying for it every year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
every
it's a
year it just
yearly
rolls around.
fee.
You pay for it every year or you lose it, so you have to pay to keep it up. So there's so many things that go into it that you don't even factor in. But yeah, I would love to do everything for free. Kind of like if we could get funding for stuff that we want to do, it'd be nice and not have to charge, but sometimes you have to.
So I was looking into the Chosen show and the Chosen show by Jesus. They said that only 5% of people who watch the free show donate. Only 5%.
They have
But
big
luckily they have-
donators.
Yeah, but luckily they have big donators to make it happen.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Only 5% of them actually paid because those are the donators, and everyone else gets to just enjoy it for free. And that's thousands. That's
Dang.
1 million of people or something like that. It's
Yeah.
not people that's not paying.
Wow.
It's crazy.
And their shows are, well, in Hollywood standards, cheap. Our standards are really expensive. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the budgets are pretty big compared to
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah.
Is this movie going to be on YouTube?
Maybe
Once
in the
we-
future.
Once we distribute it, I think it's going to be because every movie's on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think that's the plan because it's usually one of them that gets on YouTube. But
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's gonna be on YouTube, either it's gonna be one of those big channels or it's gonna be like a paid thing.
it might be
I don't know
it might
if
be
it's
the
gonna
same
work.
amount.
We're gonna
Yeah, we'll
figure
figure it
out
out. Yeah.
the whole distribution process with
Yeah.
whatever it is. If you know, at the end of the day, if nobody wants to pick it up, we're gonna have to do it ourselves, like distribute it. But it's gonna be out there. We want the message to be out there at the end of the day. But we believe that. You're laughing.
I was laughing at my dad's comment. He said, "You're staring at the screen with your mouth open." We're like, reading comments, you get the reading face. You're like, huh?
Yeah, I'm reading comments too. It's funny. Yeah.
That's funny.
I lost my train of thought.
Someone said, "How can I donate money?"
Oh, you're gonna find it on our website.
I'll put my
we
Venmo on the screen.
yeah. So as soon as you you don't log in, as soon as the movie's live, you're gonna scroll down. You're gonna see a video that we're actually talking about how you can fund. And that same video is actually at the end of the movie as well to kind of remind you how you can fund. But you'll see little click buttons on the bottom of that video, I believe, and it'll tell you ways you can donate. One, donating is just by buying a movie, purchasing, and sharing. Another way is, and then I'll let you watch the video and you can see, but it gives you other options of how you can donate to us too.
Yeah, if you want to directly donate, you go to pursuitfilms.com/give.
There you go.
Yeah, and then that's just donated. But for the film itself, it's pursuitfilms.com/origins untold. That's where the film's going to be on.
Okay, let me pull that back up. Right there.
Bam.
Let me remove
Is the link on that?
Yeah, the link's in the description, but you can see pursuitfilms.com/origins untold. It's in the description. Copy, paste it, and again, it'll be live here in no time at all. How far are we away? About 30 minutes. 25 minutes.
So exciting.
We're
After so whatever that is,
7
be out
o'clock
here for a
for
couple hours.
That's funny. It's very funny, man.
Yeah, so heck yeah. Does anybody have any questions about this? I know where you can watch it. We've already answered that in the description, and that'll take you to their website. It'll say password for anybody just joining in, but that's going to go away. And then you'll be able to watch the video and see how to support future projects.
Yeah, and share the link too. Share it on your Facebook or wherever you guys share things, so that people just spread awareness.
Yeah, so we were trying to raise some money to make the series happen, and Otto's been doing so much research. He has a book, right?
This is a journal of research that I've been gathering for the last few years. And I've put everything from ancient Sumerian dialects here to the Book of Enoch to a lot of interesting topics, which I feel really need a deep dive, same as we did with ancient cosmology.
And one of our goals for those series is to have, there's a lot of documentaries that don't have a resolve at the end, especially like the Bigfoot stuff. It's like, oh,
Right.
Yeah.
But I want the ones we do, it's going to have a resolve. Like there's evidence.
It's kind of like this where you can actually prove something where it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's not, I agree with you.
That's kind of our plan. It's going to be the same kind of vein style as the one we just made, because we need the whole series look and feel. But
yeah, we wanted to make it fun, because that's one thing I really appreciated about their vision, is that a lot of documentaries, especially about these type of topics, people are in a studio. It's like a very, controlled environment. We were definitely not in a controlled environment. We're on location. We're traveling the world. We're in different spots that you normally wouldn't probably want to hold some type of interview, but we're like, let's go, let's sit on the beach, let's walk on the pier, let's do all these fun things. And I think that type of filmmaking is very exhilarating, as opposed to your standard, let's just sit down and talk about things, and show images.
Yeah.
So the question is, does the movie give the gospel of Jesus Christ? Flat Earth is a little bit part of the gospel, the kingdom. Jesus
Gospel of the kingdom.
Kingdom of God.
Yeah.
Our talk shows what the kingdom looks like. Now, when it comes to the specific gospel message, it's not really in there because it's centered on flat Earth. And flat Earth, when you realize there's a creator, then that points people to a creator, and they start looking into the gospel of Jesus. And half the crew or more of the cast or more are believers, and they share their faith. How either flat Earth show expanded their faith or whatever, anything that. But
it brings you back to the Bible. I've never seen someone fall in, or rarely ever come to the conclusion about the world and the firmament and it's immovable and not get deep into the Bible. Like, it makes the Bible come alive And I've seen some, way more testimonies. Like when I was first putting out YouTube videos about the Bible, it wasn't really like I wasn't really bringing much people in, no matter how much love you show about the Father and your miracle testimonies and all that. It's like it takes something that really just rips their worldview away for them to go, oh my goodness, we are significant. The Father's close. It's not. It removes doubts that we've all had growing up, and it gives you peace. It gives you a lot of comfort. To, like someone said here, so glad that the Father opened their eyes. Yeah, I mean it's changed our lives, and I was already a believer. I already experienced miracles. I already had some faith. But once you see that, it's a game changer. It's changed my life entirely. I mean, we're here talking to filmmakers, and we've been able to, be a part of something that's just we never would have thought would have been in a film or a part of that. And Otto, you never would have thought you would ever be in a film talking about this stuff. Like
At all.
you were like, no, I'm not going to do it, and then I think eventually they kept
Absolutely,
back to you.
Yeah, I mentioned in the talk after the film that when they first approached me, I kind of turned it down. I turned it down.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, really? People think this? And it really just like, no, kind of type of not that like, first of all, I'm not the type of person that I feel like I'm convinced that I know everything. I'm a firm believer that I know nothing, and that's why I want to learn. And in learning, you want to learn the truth. So, but when they first approached me, I was kind of incredulous about it. Just like, really, people actually, hold on to this belief. And then when I started diving and started looking into it, and we started talking more about it, and I started doing my own research, that's when I was like, oh, this is some interesting stuff. So when they circled back around, I was like, yeah.
No, what really happened is the second the film, we tied him up, put him in our van, and he better be in this film or else.
Yeah. He was pretty good once y'all ripped the tape off. I was
Right.
like, nice to meet
If
you.
you want to eat again, you better speak well.
That's why he has a mustache in the film, not the rest.
That's right. That's right. All this was ripped off from the tape, right?
Yeah. So quite the testimonies rolling in already. People saying, yeah, I had someone said they were let me see if I can pull it back up. I was a flat earther before I was a believer. And so it's hard to find one that's not.
That's
Like,
really cool.
Yeah.
and that's just one of many lies. They're so intertwined. I mean, you need the Big Bang, and you just look at the history of it. And I was looking at it the other day because I was trying to do a history lesson for kids. And it's like, man, it's all so tied together, and you can see where the lie started and how it got to where it is now. And it's the same people, doing the same little, branching out through educating people way back in the 1500s. And so it's an interesting little path that the enemy took to get us to where we are. But like
I was talking to them earlier.
Yeah.
I was like, for me, when it comes to evolution or not believing in a creator, there's two facets. It's like, first, they're either very indoctrinated or they don't have a sense of logic. Because everything around us showcases that there's a creator. You can't put a bunch of pieces of a car and put a bomb in it, blow it up, and makes a car. That's impossible. That's like logically impossible. There's a lot of facets that showcase, even just creatures, right? There's every creature that we see, like dogs or whatever, they have a purpose. For example, an animal dies, you have the birds come down and the dogs come in to get rid of the carcass because it can contaminate all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And you have worms, they go into the dirt and they break it up so you can grow stuff. There's a purpose for every creature. And that's just never happened with a Big Bang. And there's just more. There's so much more to showcase.
Yeah. Like we're like, and I think about it because when I teach right now, I went from biology to life science, and now we're looking at body systems and cells, the irreducible complexity. Like that's one of the vocab words that I give the kids because we're irreducibly complex. We have all these different body systems working together. Yeah. And we can't even pronounce some of them, like there's just so many different ones. And it's amazing. And the term irreducible complexity, it's the guy that invented it. He's a professor, and he was an evolutionist, but he was also a believer, and he started questioning things. And man, the theory really has puzzled, the evolutionists, and they had to try to, get rid of it. and come up with excuses. But it's basically, you take something like a mousetrap and you remove one part, the whole thing doesn't work. And there's parts of all of the parts of our cells are like that. You take one part away, they don't work. And they're like, oh, well, they could have served some other function if they were missing, all the 40 parts that the flagellum has. And but my thought is, even if all the parts come together, like a boat motor or a car, even if all the parts come together, someone has to put gas in the motor. Someone in the tank. Someone has to turn the key. Like something's got to put everything in motion. Even having all the parts isn't enough to make life. Life is in motion. There's a guiding force, a breath of life, at work, and that's something like students and young people it's easier for them to see it, because they haven't been as indoctrinated yet.
Yeah, it's true.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking through again to see if there's any more questions, because I know you guys are getting excited. It's about to happen. People need to start making the popcorn, getting everything ready.
Yeah.
Cancel any other plans you had, any other lame shows. whatever you're in the middle of watching, whatever series, just cancel it.
Yeah, you can watch it. You have 48 hours to watch whenever you purchase it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be for a while, for at least a month.
Yeah, and just be sure to share it with everybody.
Yep.
Even share it to non-believers. Do you know what I'm saying? People that you may know that might be a little bit skeptic. You know what I'm saying? And you could it's only $5.99. So you could actually buy it for them.
I had a lot of people that reached out that were non-believers, and they still applauded the quality and the approach, the cinematography, everything. They still saw the art in what we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Someone said if someone's late, can it still log in? Yeah. Those of you who are just coming in late, they haven't canceled it. It wasn't like a little window of time. You'll have an entire month, and the password is going to go away. Where it says password, that'll be gone. So don't worry about that. It'll vanish here in a little bit, 20 minutes or less.
Yeah, we're 15 minutes away.
15 minutes away from showtime.
Yeah. I'm excited. I've been waiting for this for a while now. I've been super excited.
Yeah.
Hope you guys have been too.
Yeah, we've got some friends that were asking for it, and I was like, hang on, we'll know tonight exactly when and how.
Yeah.
I found out one of my mother-in-law's good friends, best friends actually, is into flat earth. And she was so excited when she heard that I was and my brother is. And she's like, I've been into this for years. I was like, yeah, it's crazy, huh? How lonely it is to not. She's like, nobody wants to listen to it.
People don't really want to talk about it in public.
Yeah.
So you have people around you believe the same, and there's like,
me personally, I feel like I've been hearing a lot of people say that they are flat earthers that you don't even expect.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think we've talked about this before, and I think it's the whole thing of just keeping it quiet so no one makes fun of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
No, I've had conversations with a lot of anti-flat earthers.
Well, that's
people that are like, no way. And then I'm not going to name any names, but I was having a conversation with somebody recently, and he was going on and kept asking me, and when I would answer his questions, he would ask me some more stuff, and then I finally said, well, look, man, we've been talking for about an hour. I goes, it's just I'm not interested in it. I'm like, we've been talking about it for an hour. What do you mean you're not interested?
Yeah.
You're totally interested.
I
goes, well, and he was so frustrated. I'm like, well, why are you frustrated, man? Just have an open mind. Just admit that we don't know anything, and this could be a revelation. Like, just look into it. That's it.
One thing I realized before we even did this documentary, in the film world, people make some weird movies about weird topics, and nobody complains or thinks they're weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the human centipede.
We're just making a movie.
It's like someone came up with the movie concept, the human centipede.
Yeah.
No one said anything.
And someone said, this needs to be seen by everyone in the public.
You don't want to see it. Trust me. You don't want to see it. It's horrible.
Yeah. Like a Barbie doll movie. That'll be great. Yeah. Like a child's toy into a movie. Yeah, no one questions these things. Yeah, literally, that's what I was thinking about when I got called down to the office, was like, I could have believed in anything I could have had a religion or, you know, been sacrificing things to Santa Claus or something like, and I would have never, I don't know.
Yeah, and Santa Claus is
Like-
like this imaginary thing anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's literally, I mean, if you
Well, that's
trace
the
it, it has origins, but it's like, it's a fake God. Okay. You know what I mean? It's not real. It never existed is what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
like a fake God that people worship, you know? So, yeah.
We should make a little short documentary about Santa Claus.
Oh, you said we did or we should?
We did.
Yeah, we do
Well-
have. It wasn't intended to be that way, but the guy, he's not really, I don't know if he is a believer 100% or not, but he knows the history of Santa Claus and he told the truth about it. You know what I mean? He's more, what were you saying?
Yeah.
Wrote a book about it. We filmed
Yeah.
talking about it. Yeah. So you can check that out on our YouTube. It's free.
Yeah.
Kingdom in Context.
Yeah. We got Sean Griffin, Kingdom in Context. Yeah. He said, excited to see it. Yeah. You're going to love it, Sean. It's really awesome. And my dad said, how can we watch it? Yeah. Again, I know it's hard on YouTube. They move things around, but in the description, it's usually below the video. Sometimes on phones now they put it beside it, but click read more. If you can't find the description, it's right here. Let me get rid of that. So you can
So after you
screenshot that.
after we get off the stream here, we're gonna automatically make it public. So you go to pacificfilms.com/origins untold, and that's where you can purchase it for $5.99, and you'll have 48 hours to view it for that time. And it's gonna be up for a while. So if you don't want to do it in the next 2 days, you can wait next week or whatever.
Yeah.
It might be a good Sabbath movie to watch.
Oh, yeah. You watched it a couple of times.
Yeah. That's what we're gonna be doing. We'll have a movie night. I might get the projector out. You got a projector.
Yeah, I got like a 20-foot projector screen too. Yeah.
Yeah, we can have a local redneck premiere. The shag carpet event. Yeah.
The horses make noise in the back.
Yeah. It'll be fun. Yeah, that premiere was awesome. I'm so glad. I was honored you guys let me speak at that. Like, and when I found out there were skeptics, I was like, this is awesome. And you were good, David, with going through the slides because I had so many. I had 30 something slides to cover in 10 minutes, or I forget how many slides I had. A bunch within 10 minutes.
Oh, well, you did the teaching in the beginning was awesome, by the way.
Yeah,
Like,
I was hoping
that was
it
like
was
something
skeptic.
that guy said to us that called us. And I don't think he was the only one. I think there's a couple other people, but he loved how it was set up. He's like, I sat through the whole thing, through the teaching in the beginning, to the movie, to the questions, even, the outside when people were hanging out, just kind of observing the whole thing. But yeah, he definitely liked your teaching. And you did a really good job. I could see why you're a teacher.
It was quite the experience. Yeah, I shared the video segments of that video on like TikTok and different Facebook, and people kept saying, "What church is this?" They thought it was a church. They're like, "I want to go to this church."
Oh, really?
I didn't know there was a flat Earth church.
We need it.
How did it feel for you, by the way, teaching like a crowd of people this topic outside of YouTube?
Oh God, it was awesome. Like I was nervous because I'm really not a public speaker, even though I teach, but that's not public
It's different when
speaking.
it's kids.
It's
too.
so relaxing. Like children, I could teach all day, but like when grown adults come into my room, it's like, oh, my heart speeds up. I get nervous, and so like I don't do good with crowds speaking, and so I just thought, man, I might have a panic attack. And I've been praying, and people have been praying for me, and it was like as soon as I started speaking, like the Father just gave me peace. Like I felt so peaceful. It was more peaceful than if I was rehearsing it on my own by myself. Like it was that much peace. So I thought, man, this is awesome. I like the way.
Could you
he
do
worked
that
out.
for like a living? Like, how some people like interesting topics go on like TED Talk or something like that. And you're always talking in front of crowds of people. Just out of curiosity, would that be something you'd be interested in the future?
It would be nice if I had like time to prepare and devote to it. I felt because I threw everything together. I think I spent about 3 days kind of organizing things, and because we were on the road all summer, and time just slipped by. And you guys are like, "Oh, you got a presentation? It's almost here." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, it's almost here! Like it's going to be here in like a week." And I'm like, I better get started.
Well, I was really excited you really put it together. At the end of the day, I just wanted like a little, like a overview a little bit so people can get warm to the idea.
Yeah,
but it was really a TED Talk. I was really happy.
Yeah, it was really well done.
Yeah, I was hoping it would be short, concise, and cover just the basics. But man, it kind of. I told my wife, I said, once it gets over 10 minutes, start doing this, so I'll know. And I think it was like 13 or 14 minutes in, and I look over, and I hadn't been looking at her, and I looked over, and she's going. I was like, okay. Then I just ended. I was like, all right, I'm done.
That's funny.
Yeah, but that was a blessing. That part and the Q&A afterwards, that was
Yeah, I
fun.
really loved. There was some skeptics there that were really wanting to ask questions, and you
Oh
could
yeah,
tell they
there's
had
a lot of.
We could have been out for another hour or two, man. People were just
Yeah.
keep on asking.
Yeah.
I wish we would have, to be honest with you. I mean, you can't go back, but for me, I would have been okay with it. But I don't know if the theater would have been okay with it.
No,
Yeah, you could tell they were ready.
Peter was like, "All right, guys, wrap it up."
Yeah. Yeah. My wife said she was talking to the people because our son, of course, during the movie, he's being loud. He's 1 year old, and so she brings him out and to the lobby area with the popcorn, and they're like, she hears them talking about the film, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm an engineer major, and this is I could debunk all this stuff," almost like it was like they were making fun of the concept of the film, but they
All the theater workers.
yeah. So I felt
We
I was like,
won't
man,
say-
I hope they'll sit back and watch it, or do something to kind of get the.
What it is when you're so in love with science, like that's
Yeah.
that's as much as six. Kind of know them a little bit. I don't want to say anything bad. Of
They're really
course,
nice
you know what I mean? They are very nice people outside of this topic. You know what I mean? Like I just don't think they understand. And the biggest thing is like we said, like when you're so indoctrinated, and maybe you went to school and science was your thing, movies, science fiction. You know how people are obsessed with that and stuff like that. It's really hard to see that whole world could just crumble just like that. And it's just like, and
Yeah.
I'm going to respond to Robin just real quick. No guest password. We're getting ready to get off the live stream, and then we're going to load it up, and there will be no password anymore. It's just there for now.
Yeah. Temporary burden. It'll be gone, and then you'll get to see the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was tempted to put a bunch of globes in the film in the background, like they do in other movies.
Yeah.
No.
Should have overloaded it with flat Earth models.
Yeah, if you look at every mainstream movie, you're gonna see a couple globes.
Yeah.
You'll have a one eye, you'll have an owl, you'll have space, rockets, and dinosaurs. So those are the main thing, but especially the globe. There's twice we had one movie we saw. There's 3 or 4 globes on one table. Really? You need 4 globes on a table, and another one had 2 globes and an obelisk on the background.
Yeah.
Yep. And every kid's room has the solar system hanging up. Every home.
Yeah.
The camera always comes in from the planets in their room as it's shown.
Yeah, we have a science lab at my school, and I don't have my room's not a lab room anymore. Like I used to have, my room was kind of like half lab, half class, and now I have to go to the lab room, and there's the globe model, like the solar system along the wall, and I'm like, man, I wish I could just tape it up before I go in there.
I like your wall back there. You have a bunch of movie stuff back there. You have the Orange is the Untold poster.
Yeah, we got the poster. Let me see if I can find it right here. There's the poster on our wall. Put up a new wall.
Oh yeah,
just
thanks
this.
for the poster, by the way.
Yeah.
My dog's been crying a lot. She wants to hang out with us.
Can you guys hear her? Are you able to hear her?
A little bit, not bad.
Okay. She's been crying for a while. We had to put her on the porch.
Spoiled dog.
We're on our laps. So.
Yeah. You guys have seen her before. You know how crazy she can get.
She wants to be in the movie.
Yeah.
The next one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're excited about releasing the film, and we're excited that when we get funded for the series.
Yeah, let's make life into that. We're going to get funded for the series, guys.
That's right.
Yeah.
The projects that are going to bring glory to God. That's what our aim is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's going to happen. I believe we're going to make this happen.
Yeah, and people that feel like they don't do enough in the truth community, sharing stuff is a huge thing. You don't realize how many of you have shared our content or just somebody's video with somebody that woke somebody up. Like people are just glued to their screens, scrolling, hoping for something to bring some joy to their life.
Yeah.
And what better joy than to change their worldview and wake them up? Because I mean, like we're seeing now, the alien deception's coming out,
yeah, my kids are talking about that at school. They're like, oh man, can you believe that? How big the infinite universe is? Surely there's got to be life out there.
Yeah. And the alien deception, I put up some funny memes. I have put a lot of stuff on these, or a few things about you guys, about Pursuit Films, some of your accomplishments. They got this, right, and that. Best cinematography, videographer of the year, best feature film. For those of you who have never checked out Pursuit Films and their accomplishments, quite a bit. Rosebud Lane, But I also put some funny alien meme stuff to people have been sharing around the
Oh
internet.
man, I've seen that recently.
That's the one in
What is your
Mexico.
video?
It looks like
Yeah.
ET.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
It's like
and they get
Oh,
funny.
it's
Oh my
really
gosh.
funny, guys, about this. Okay, when I
Yeah.
was young, I used to dig in the creek. We had a creek that we go play in all the time around by our house, and they had clay at the bottom of the creek. And me and my sister would pull up the clay from the creek, and not only would we make pottery, but I remember making that face. Those like that little, just being goofy and silly. That's what it looks like. It reminds me when I was a little kid. I made little clay figures.
Yeah,
Oh
Yeah.
man.
I was looking at those old bell statues. I think it looks a lot like that. It's like the same exact.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they were good artists. Maybe that's what their false gods looked like back in the
Oh
day.
gosh, it's so silly.
Yeah.
Pretty tiny though.
There was a funnier meme. I left it out though. I forgot about it.
The one with the cake.
Racist.
Yeah.
There's the one that it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
cake and they.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's a-
saw that one today.
They're awesome. But yeah, those of you who are about to get to watch the film, there's the link. Again, it's in the description. Copy it, paste it. I might go and
It's
pin it
almost
in the
7 o'clock.
comments as
One
well. I'll end the video by showing the trailer, so you'll know, you get just a snapshot of what the video's about. But man, I'm talking like the trailer doesn't do it justice. Like the music's good, I mean, just like the
yeah.
cinematography's good. It doesn't just go in it's all over the place. It keeps it exciting. I like
Yeah.
the way it jumps back and forth, and
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine editing something like that. Like that would take years.
It's a lot of work, man.
Yeah.
Like 3 hours or something that we put into an hour and a half.
3 hours worth of work.
Guys, it takes time. Man.
Three brothers blab all day because
Yeah. I'm glad you minimalized some of the stuff.
There
we
was a
said.
lot of great information. The truth is there was a lot more information, but it was finding what was important and tying it all together.
Yeah.
And that's what we did, is come down to, because we could have shared way more, you know what I mean? But it didn't. I keep looking at the comments.
We should have made a blooper reel.
Yeah.
Bloopers.
There's a couple bloopers in there for sure. Maybe here in the future, we'll have someone else do it for us though. Because they don't edit anymore. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, there was some bloopers. Yeah, it was a unique setup too, the way, because you guys have the one nice camera and you film both angles with the same camera, and like it was a little confusing for people like me who I'm used to like the podcast, like one camera, two people talk, like I'm used to the.
ideally you want to
Like
have
this.
multiple cameras, but
Yeah.
budget, if you bring a camera, you got to rent it or buy another one, and you got to bring more.
Those
crew.
and they're expensive.
And to carry it too. There's no way
Yeah.
with the budget that we had and the manpower to be carrying those cameras and all the gear. You saw what we were lugging out of our
Oh yeah, every time you guys set up, it was probably like 2,000 pounds worth of equipment. I mean, it's like my goodness, yeah. I mean, poles and curtains, and man, you had like all these contraptions, and you played it like everything you used. Like when you were there, you used it all. I mean, you set it all up, you used it. The lighting, like
Yeah.
that's amazing. I've never seen a film production
Yeah.
in action like that before, and that was something special. But it was even more fun watching it all the hard work in a theater. Comfortably just watching it. That was something else, like unforgettable. Yeah. All right. I think if any more questions, guys, it's about time to let them get started with setting this up. Again, the password will go away, and you'll be able to rent the movie and watch it with the family. It'll be up on the website for a month, and then at least maybe longer. We'll see. Yeah. It says need a password to watch. No, you don't need a password. That will go away. That's going to vanish here momentarily.
Obviously, there's some late arrivals.
Late arrival.
Passwords.
Yeah, and someone said, I love how they're using their gifts to the glory of Yah. Well said. Yeah. Humble. And that's what, and it's hard, people were giving you guys a hard time. Nobody was wanting to help at first. And I'm like, man, it's like when you guys, I'm fortunate I saw you guys in person, and I could just tell right away, these are humble people, young, college age looking children, but movie filmmakers that were passionate. I was like, they're just the approach. Like I don't know, there was just something I could tell these are good people. And that's what really put me at ease. And I think everybody was so like on edge from all the hit pieces we've had. They're like, there's no way there's a high quality film crew that's going to be doing a movie about this. And I'm like,
Well, Flat Earth has had bad experiences with film crews.
everyone's afraid, and everyone's like, no, let's avoid the big screen. But Now, this is one of those that you want on a big screen. This is a once in a lifetime thing. So it's hopefully one of many projects to come.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let me remove this from this.
Not agree more.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll let you guys get to putting this thing live. I will end with playing the trailer again for those of you who jumped in late and you don't know what Origins Untold Ancient Cosmology is. It's something that I believe is going to go far and wide beyond our community. Our community has grown. I believe this is going to go further. This is going to go to people in need. It sounds like we're trying to take care of the hungry people here, but yeah, people that are spiritually starving, people that are believing the stuff that's about to come around the corner with the alien stuff. I think the whole bogus things that we've been seeing are just tests. I think it's going to get worse, but definitely soon.
Right on our hands.
Yeah.
More clay aliens are coming.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for doing all this. I mean, it's just something we can't thank you enough. People, hopefully you guys will get the thanks that you deserve. If not in this life, definitely in the one to come.
If somebody changes their mind on it, that's all. That's all. It's worth it.
Yeah.
All of it is worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to know it's one thing to make a film or any project and it just doesn't have any meaning behind it. It's another thing when there's meaning behind it and it's so satisfying.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, I did find something for my father,
Yeah. Yeah. Finally battling those doctrines of demons that have been around for so long.
Oh yeah.
You're doing it for a living now. Hopefully we can get you guys doing this for a living. So it's like, that's all you do.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks again, guys. I'm going to go ahead and remove us, play the trailer in this stream. Thank you all for tuning in, sharing. You guys that are sharing out there, you guys are the ones that are really making a difference too, that doing things that we can't all just do. We are.
Yes.
Thank you to everyone that shares. Thank you to everyone that donates. And thank you for everyone that prays and just believes in us.
Yes.
Just want to add that.
All right. Well, thank you guys. We will be back soon. And we'll be probably doing a review on the film. We can do a review and give away more of the secrets once it's out. Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys.
All right. Y'all have a blessed night.
Bye, guys.
Enjoy the movie.
See you. Enjoy it.
People get lost in the weeds and the stars and everything and trying to figure it out. I say, clear your head, reset, and then look at your world. And you'll realize that nothing will ever lead you to thinking you live on a ball except pseudoscience.
Where's the evidence for the curve? Where's the evidence for the rotation? And then where's the evidence for the revolution around the sun?
Why are we not taught what the ancients believed? Why do we only see this image of a boat going over the edge of some water? Nobody thought that. The Egyptians, the Greek, the Mayans, they all believed this solid expanse of the sky, the earth was immovable, just like it is in the biblical text.
It just really hit me one day when I was going through the Bible, and it was like the Lord just basically said, who are you going to believe?
How did you arrive to the flat earth theory?
I got into it through sheer conspiracy boredom, believe it or not.